Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW-LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC-LP Conroe, and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Good afternoon, everybody. You're listening and watching the Cindy Cochran Show on YouTube, Facebook, whatever you want to watch it on. You watch it, it'll pop up somewhere. And it's also on the radio on 106.1 and 104.5 in the Montgomery County area. And I used to say MoCo, but I don't say that anymore because I just found out what that meant in Spanish. So it's the Montgomery County area has that on radio. So if you're driving around, be sure and tune in. But we're so glad that you're with us, and we're going to have a great time today. I can't imagine the excitement that went on the other night in all the houses. And if you wanted to go out and not have any traffic on the road or anything like that, was during that last game with the New York Yankees. Oh my word, it was so amazing. I know our neighbors heard me screaming, and it was just, this is so exciting. And they had me on the edge of my seat through that whole series, and it was amazing. And I probably gained, I don't know how many pounds, because we ate, I make all these snacks up and you just nervously eat and eat and eat. And so it was so great though. We were so excited and so happy, so proud of you, Astros, so proud of you. And we know Friday night is the beginning of the World Series, and it's going to be on, I don't know what it's going to be. Do we know it's going to be on TBS or TNT or? I don't know. Sam knows. I don't care. He knows where it's going to be. So, but that is going to be so exciting. And, well, to kind of comparable to the excitement is the guest I have today. Now, you guys, just because I couldn't get Elvis Presley on the show and because those things, but I've got our own homegrown star is Daire McLeod. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. It's really exciting to be able to talk about something that I'm super proud of. And my Lone Star State, my Conroe people, Conroe
right.
strong.
the Conroe people are being put on the map because of, people like you. Oh. And so that's exciting. I'm going to bring that attention to this little place called Conroe. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't mean it's the line at Huntsville. Conroe. Somebody told me that one time, and I couldn't say Conroe anymore without thinking about the cons in row. Don't say that. Conroe is really. I love the history with Conroe, and the guy that did the Texas flag was
I know.
from Conroe.
I actually was just with my dad, and we were reading that statue earlier today, so I learned about him a little bit. He's a pretty cool dude.
Yeah, and you. Okay, now I'm going to give you behind the scene.
Okay.
About this guy that invented this flag.
I'm ready.
He laid the flag out in front of the people that had to make the decision whether they were going to go with that or not. Mm-hmm. But when he put it down, it was opposite.
It was backwards?
The white was at the bottom and the red was at the top. But so when he did that, the guy took it and said, okay, this is it, and blessed it and all that. But it was done backwards. So now the behind the scenes of the Texas flag is what if the red should have been whatever and the white should have been. So anyway, just a little bit of their history. And since you didn't have your classes today with your tutor, I'm glad you were here. And so tell us about, now I've watched your other interviews and you couldn't talk about it at that point, but now you can. You have been unleashed. This has started now, And so tell us about Ghost Rider.
So Ghost Rider this is the newest season, and we're so excited to be able to do it. It's streaming on Apple TV+, and this season, the main synopsis is all about justice. So we're getting justice in multiple ways. We're getting justice for Oliver, who is the spirit who's going to be releasing fictional characters out of books to help us get clues for a stolen artifact. So that's our job, and it's the kids' jobs to try and find this artifact and put it back where it belongs. So
That's very cool. Oh, I love that. So the series is there like a cliffhanger at the end of each one?
yes, it's definitely the type that whenever you watch it, you just don't want to stop watching because the mystery each time gets more and more intense. It just doubles every single time. Like you go from it being we just met in the first episode to the third episode we're already best buds and we have to try and do this quickly or else this artifact is going to be shipped off to Cairo, back where it belongs, and no one will ever know it was a fake.
Did you just give a spoiler alert?
A little, but you know, I feel like everyone's going to know
sure.
that.
Okay. No, exclusively right here on the Cindy Cochran Show. You found that one. No, but I think that it's interesting because you've got, oh, please be quiet. I thought I turned that off. I don't want that going on.
Literally, I just checked my phone. I was like, please be silent. Do not say anything.
Silent mode is on. It must look like off. But anyway, it's interesting because when you do a series like this,
Right.
and the people are watching it, like we binge everything.
Same.
So is this going to be something that they have to wait till next week for the next one?
It's very bingeable. All 13 episodes are out right now. And it's just really cool because, like I said, you don't want to stop watching because it has been a test of my will and of my patience, but I've been watching it over the last 3 nights because I didn't want to just do it all at once, and it's taken so much effort not to go ahead.
I'm telling. Oh my goodness, yes, that's really restraint, girl. Yeah. That's good because it's. I hate getting some of these series that you have to binge and you can't stop. It's terrible. And I tell people, don't even tell me about my daughter will call me, you have to watch da da da. And I go like, no. And finally I said, well, I do miss, watching something one right after the other and getting this whole story. And those are kind of fun to get involved in.
Yeah.
And she said, okay, watch Dahmer. And I went,
I haven't watched it, and I'm so afraid. I don't like gore, so I'm just like, no.
Don't watch it because I was certainly alive whenever that was all happening and going through it and watching it on TV, and when this boy got away and they finally caught him and they showed all the gruesome pictures. It was just so creepy, so disgusting. And I went, why would I want to sit and eat popcorn? Watch that or eat anything and watch that horrible show. Yeah. And she said, but it's so well acted. And I said, it doesn't matter. Yeah. The outcome is the same.
Yeah. Well, thankfully Ghost Rider doesn't have any of that gore, blood, or gruesome stuff. But we do have some really fun mystery.
See, the mystery part of it is great. That's a great idea. I love that. And so you say it's bingeable right now. So they go to Apple TV and search Ghost Rider, and you can watch all of the episodes right now?
Yes, you can watch all of the episodes of my season right now.
Okay.
Season 3.
So when's 4 coming up?
We don't know. We have to always just keep everything in stride. We have to be like, we're just also focusing on promoting the show right now. So we're not going to start a new season, of course, because we're focusing on riding the wave that's this season, right?
Well, it's like, I don't know whether to watch one show a week or just go ahead and binge it and then have to wait for like some months to get to that.
That's what we said. We were like, that's always what I do. And I have this bad habit of whenever shows come out, I always like waiting. And I'm like, you're not allowed to watch it because I want to wait until I can watch them all at once.
Right.
So it's like, I kind of love the fact that this show released them all at once because I could actually binge them. But of course, because my mom was like, I want to have something to look forward to. Yes. I'm like, I have to wait. So tonight is the last 3. So we're on the finale.
Oh, you are? Okay. All right. And so you're pleased with what you're watching now?
Oh, yes, 100%.
Now, do y'all watch rushes or anything like that? Do the director bring you in and say, we're going to do this over? And so you get to see some of it at that time?
So something interesting about whenever we were filming is we were able to get little glimpses, little tastes of what it would be like because not only were we filming, but sometimes they would show us like the playback and we would be able to see on monitors, especially from my mom taking pictures of the monitors and stuff and showing them to me. I'm like, this is so cool.
That's great. Your mom, Erica, who's sitting out in the lobby at the Conroe Tower watching this right now, she is the sweetest thing. I just loved her, just having the 2 conversations we probably had. But it was great because I understood everything that she was talking about what she has done and been supportive of you brought you to this point. And I know you give a lot of kudos and stuff to your family, because the family, if they're against it or they're making fun of you or they think it's stupid and why are you doing this, that's no good. But you've got such a supportive family behind you.
It's really a blessing because, my mom has always inspired so much of who I am and who I want to be like. I've always looked up to her and thought she was the coolest lady around. It's just like, it's really cool to know that my mom and my dad, they both are always looking out for me, and they're always ready to, put their life on hold to help my dreams be achieved, which is just a blessing.
Okay, Daire, always feel that way. Please don't forget you said that, or she can come back and show you what you said. But remember when you felt
this is the receipts.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we got a receipt now, and that would be because that is something that does change over time because of influences that will come into your life just from where you are and what you're doing, and make you feel like, oh man, you don't really need them. You could do this all on your own, and you're going to start feeling that way.
I mean, why would I want to?
Yeah. See, that's the best thing, is to have somebody by your side that loves you no matter what, and that's always there for you. So I think that's, you're very, very blessed in that sense.
Incredibly lucky, because I not only have my parents and the rest of my entire family, which I love every single member of my family so much, because they're always, all of them are extremely supportive. And I not only have them, but I also have, my family kind of people who are a big part of my life, and also my team, which is a definite extension of my family, because they are always on my side. They're always supporting me, and it's so crazy that I've been able to find a team that isn't directly my family. Kim and Tina, which are my managers, my agents from Osbrink, and everyone there on that team, and my PR people, every single person that I've come in contact with who I've worked with at that time, it's just every single person has been so supportive and has constantly cheered me on, which I know is few and far in between of an experience.
Well, when you're with an agency that's in LA and it's not here, is it difficult? Do you have to let them know everything you're going to do to make sure that it's in line with what you should be doing to promote the show and all that?
Actually, my agency is really cool, because essentially how it works is they get me my auditions, they get me everything, that my opportunities, so I owe almost all of my success, besides me doing the acting part, all of the amazing parts and opportunities that I've gotten have come straight from my managers and my agents teaming up collaboratively to make me successful, which is crazy to think about, because all these people are just constantly rooting for me and cheering and advocating for my success, which is so cool.
Well, I mean, when I first got that first call from LA saying, you've got to have Daire on your show, because we've heard about your show and we want to make sure she's on the show. But unfortunately, who called me was Dennis O'Connor.
Oh, I love Dennis. He's so
Dennis O'Connor. And I mean, if you ever want to add an H, he's the guy, because he called me so many times. He said, you've got to have this girl on. She's coming in town, and she is a star, and she is doing all this. And I went, well, yeah, of course I want her on there. He said, and he just raved and raved about you. And he's listening. He called me and talked to me all the way into when I parked my car in the street. I said, okay, I've got to go now. I got to go up there. But we talked about you, and he says, and ask her this and ask her that. Make sure you ask her, because some interviewers aren't asking her these questions. And so I said, Dennis, okay, I got this. I'm older than you. Shut up. I've got this. But it was people like that just diehard fans, and that from Conroe, that have watched you grow, and all the stuff you did here in Conroe.
Absolutely.
And at the Crichton Theater, I know that you and Dennis did a documentary on Crichton.
Yes, I did. I totally remember that. I loved filming that, because technically that was my first film part ever, really.
Okay, see, and he takes full credit for that. So I think that you being in that and finding out the history and all that that went into that little documentary thing is great, because he said she has got it. I mean, I could tell right then she had it.
Well, thank you.
And so he's very, very proud of you. And he's going to be on tomorrow. He said, I thought about coming by there and just making sure she's there and everything's all right. And he said, then I thought, no, better not. I'll be on tomorrow. But he's going to come in, and he's got a tale to tell. I can't even.
I know.
Right before we leave, I'll talk about what he's going to be talking about, because it's weird.
He has the best spooky stories ever.
I mean,
ever.
and he's saying they're real. He's got the best, it's so perfect right before Halloween. It makes you kind of like, should I believe what he's saying? But he's got facts and
all the evidence,
evidence, and with what happened. So anyway, I'm really excited to talk to him, because he never told. I've known him for so long, and he never said that. I mean, he may have said it, and I don't believe most of the stuff he says. So I just kind of dismissed it. But he started writing these things in his Facebook, and it sounded so real, and so I went, I gotta call him.
We're gonna get on
that. And that's what we. And then I found you. So I thank Dennis for sending you our way, and I hope that your agent and the agency will say, "Oh, that was perfect, because she brought out so much in you." And, and so a lot of times you do these junkets and stuff, and they ask the same questions and you do the same things.
I did the 5-hour press junket for Apple TV, and we were just sitting there on Zoom with a bunch of different reporters.
They would come in and sit down and just.
I always compare it to Notting Hill. One of my favorite rom-coms ever.
Yes.
So it was the whole thing with, the horse and hound. I'm here with it was like that, but it was virtual. So it was really cool, because we were asked a bunch of questions. We were asked, about our characters, about the show. And, every once or twice there would be a really good curveball thrown in, but it's pretty much, once you get into that rhythm, you kind of just like, okay, well, it's this. You got to change it up a little bit, though. So it's all about finding the little nuances that make it interesting,
right? And so because the main thing is just make sure they want to watch the movie, the show, and that they feel like they know you. And so to get to know you really well, I probably have to ask questions like, so do you have a boyfriend?
Oh, no.
Well, you're too young anyway. I'm glad you said you answered that just right.
Okay, I had to do that joke.
I'm sure there's someone out there. You've probably had crushes on people before.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Who's the worst crush you had on? They could be a star. It could be the kid that's sitting next to you in science.
Oh, I think probably. Oh, okay. I think actually the best crush I ever had was on. I was actually in kindergarten, so it was hilarious. I went to Covenant Christian School, and I had this, and he was basically a boyfriend. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna call him out, but he's always been the sweetest, yeah. And it was just, I remember the funniest memory about it was we had to do like a Thanksgiving Pilgrim's play or something like that, and we had to like be paired up, and he was so persistent about being my paired up partner that he was like, the teacher actually had to change it around. He was so adamant. It was hilarious.
So he probably had a bigger crush on you think, than you had on him? Oh, I don't know. Yes, sure.
I will keep it ambiguous.
Well, I mean, you're in Hollywood a lot. You're in LA a lot, and so you're getting to see a lot of people that you probably watched in movies and watched on TV and stuff. And now you're getting to meet them in person, and you can rub elbows with them. And so, have you met anybody there that you thought was interesting, that when you grow up, that you might?
Well, I think probably the coolest person that I've worked with was actually one of my couple. First of all, like, everyone on my set was amazing. So shout out to every single person who worked there. But I think the coolest person I worked with was the main showrunner, and he was the director of the first 4 episodes. His name is Luke Mathney. He is incredible. He won an Academy Award for a couple things that he did, and it was just incredible to be with somebody and work with somebody who was that accomplished. And I've always wanted to be an EGOT winner, which if you don't know, is an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. Only very few people have
Wow,
it. And
triple
yeah.
threat. Yeah. Well, you sing, and your acting is in movies and in TV, and so you're going to cover all those bases.
That's what we're hoping for.
And you've got a new country western single coming out.
It's a country pop fusion.
Country pop, make sure. Country
good.
pop.
Country pop, and it's very much a summer anthem. It's super fun and spunky. It's, in my opinion, it's very much like you put your top down and you drive and it's a beautiful summer day and there's Kenny Chesney. Literally one of my lines is Kenny Chesney on the radio. So it's definitely speaking to a lot of my country Texas people. So
That's great. And now, are you signed to a record label, or is it underneath the same umbrella?
it is going to be I'm releasing it with a company called Little Bird Big Sound, who also helped me produce it, which was amazing. And we're going to be releasing that sometime on November 3rd, November 4th. And that's going to be really cool. So make sure to pre-save and all of that jazz.
Yes,
And
yes.
also with them, I'm going to be releasing, and this is exclusive. So
Oh yeah.
so the exclusive stuff. There's another song that's coming up that is in production right now called Learn to Count. It's more of a pop Billie Eilish sounding song. So I wanted to go through all the genres because my
That's
music
perfect.
taste is all over the place.
Yes, that's perfect. And it's learn to count.
Yeah.
It's okay, are you counting your boyfriends? Are you counting what are you counting?
I wish I had that many. I wish I had that many to count. Truly. Yeah, it's basically about it's how I pitched it is that it was a happy song that was in denial a little bit. It's a happy song that sounds happy, but it doesn't think it's a sad song. So it's like trying to pretend it's a happy song. That's how I pitched it, because it's kind of about this relationship that's deteriorating over time. And it's about, it's kind of playing off of what I like to call, it's the psychological stages of romance, which is, first is the honeymoon phase, which is, hey, honey. The second is where it starts going downhill, or there's a little bit of argument and complacency a tad, which comes with the second song. And then hopefully the third song, fourth song, fifth song is going to continue that pattern.
Oh, so you're doing a series like in your songs, so you have to listen to the next one and next one. Okay, that's really good. Now, what you just explained, how old are you again?
I'm 15 years old.
Okay, and you're talking about the how romance evolves and then deteriorates, and that's true. Now, can you understand that when you like somebody, you've met somebody that you like, and you think this is it, it's forever. We're going to get married, and and at the age that you are, is your career enough of a distraction to make you understand that you need to probably hold off on that?
Yeah, I think the big thing for me with relationships and all of that is, I think that to me, especially at this point in my life, like you said, with career and all of the things that I'm aspiring to do, I don't want to be unfair to that person, because that person does not deserve to be neglected or treated as a second best to something that isn't even a person itself. Like, it's the whole thing of people saying, oh, I'm married to my work. That's not fair to the other person. Right. So it's like that's caused me to do that. And also the reason I'm able to write romantic songs, as I've actually never had a boyfriend or a significant other before, is because I've always felt like my acting, my reading, my storytelling has always given me a window into topics and subjects that I'm not too familiar with. So it's always kind of helped me. And I feel like I have this spooky for a minute here. I feel like I have this superpower where I'm able to tap into these other people's memories, because whenever I'm writing a song, people ask me, where do those lyrics come from? Like, where are they? It's literally, I cannot tell you. It just, all of a sudden, I'm like writing, and then I get all these smells and images and sights and all of it, and I'm like, what is this? Let's write a song about this.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
You're helping me get ready for Dennis O'Connor tomorrow. That is so great. That's how because when I would write songs at 15 and 16.
Oh my gosh.
It was it was because of all the movies I watched.
Right.
So I took it from there, not from a personal experience. But also, I had so many crushes on different boys that they didn't know about. But but I did, and I, fantasized about this person as my boyfriend, and
all the romantic. I'm the hopeless romantic. My mom always likes to tell me I am in love with love.
Right.
That's what it is.
She's right. She's right. And I try to explain to my granddaughter, whatever you think is forever right now, if it goes away, give it 2 weeks, and you'll be 2 weeks. It'll be over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you'll have a different feeling about it altogether.
Right. I mean, like, for example, I had a very, very intense crush. You can ask my friends on this one guy. And I thought he was the coolest thing ever. And I still think he's the coolest thing ever because we're really good friends still. But it's like, it's crazy about how you go from feeling like this person is absolutely perfect and just the best thing you will ever meet. There's nothing better than this person, to then slowly seeing the cracks and being like, huh.
You eat with your mouth open. Did anyone ever tell you that? I just want to know if you know that or not.
You don't text me back in 0.2 seconds. How dare you?
Right. And looking sideways at another girl. Come on, stop it. Stop it. And so I think that it's funny because you get it's so much fun, and it's good. And I'm glad y'all are having these, these little experiences and the romance and stuff. But when it's over, understand it's okay, because you're going to be okay in 2 weeks. You're going to meet somebody else, and you're going to so who was that guy again? And so don't worry about
even
that.
Remember his name.
Yes. But now what I love about your background and what you're into, it's got to be different for you, because the drama that you can bring to a romance and all that because of your ability.
Right.
And then do you ever feel like you're just like, I don't know if I really like him, or if I just think it would be really cool to like him or not.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's one of my worst habits, and it's my heart's favorite habit, but it's the most horrific one that I have, is that I really like I said, the idea of being with someone, but as soon as I'm in that situation, I'm like, I don't know.
This is a little too much.
But,
and a lot of times you never know if they're going to be the ones that get too aggressive, in the sense that they don't want you being around anybody else and all that.
Yeah.
No.
You don't know any of that.
No.
And also it's really interesting for me because in my show, I don't really have any relationships or romance in my show. However, in other things I've auditioned for, and I was on Nickelodeon on Danger Force. So when I was on that show, I was having to basically pretend I had a psycho crush on this one guy. And that's where I kind of get weirded out about me being an actor in my relationships, because it's like, do I really like this guy? Because I'm very good at tricking my brain, which then tricks my heart into liking a person and making chemistry. Because that's how all of the romance movies that you love,
right? Like
for example, I'm a huge rom-com person. I love Notting
Yes.
Hill. I love Clueless. All of that. Those are my favorite things ever. It's crazy because the only reason those movies are good is because the actors trick themselves into liking this person and basically falling in love with this person, falling in love with their good qualities.
Right.
That's how you do it.
That's right.
Right.
And when you're put under pressure, when you're doing a series, but you're on set with these people, and you've got directors, you got all these people, and you got to know your part, you got to know what to do.
Yeah.
And that pressure causes you to bond with certain people on that set that you would never even, you'd pass up in the hall and just, I don't know them. but because of what you're doing and how the attention and all that's all around you is very, you cling to somebody that's there and makes you feel safe, like this is cool. But it's just amazing when somebody has the talent that you have, and that you have the common sense that you have. And so it's great to know that that's what, that you're going into it with all that feeling, and that you understand all that stuff, because your mom's just like, biting her nails, going like, "Oh, I'm so happy she feels this way," because you've got a lot of good sense about you. And
Thank
when we
you.
talk about your mom, I want to bring her in here, but we want to do a break. We're going to do a break first, and then during this break, we're going to bring in her mom, and you got to meet her mom, Erica. She is amazing.
Coolest person
Then you'll
ever.
understand why this is who she is. But anyway, we'll be right back. You're listening to the Cindy Cochran Show on LSR.
Hey y'all, it's DJ Mike from Dance Time in Texas. Join me Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. as I count down the top 10 Texas Red Dirt songs that are packing the dance floor. I'll be featuring local artists and the story behind the hits, shows in the area, as well as new songs that make you want to dance. It's Dance Time in Texas with DJ Mike on Lone Star Community Radio, 104.5 KCZW and 106.1 KZCC, Conroe, Texas, or online, irlonestar.com.
Is there someone you know who is hooked on vintage aircraft? Follow the Commemorative Air Force and its fleet of World War II planes, including the mighty B-17 Flying Fortress Texas Raiders, which is based in Conroe, Texas. Texas Raiders tours locally and all around the United States, offering the public a chance to put their hands on aviation history. What could be a more perfect gift than a flight on a historic B-17? Taking to the sky on the iconic bomber is an experience that will never be forgotten. For the touring schedule, reservations, or more information, go to b17texasraiders.org or call 855-FLY-A-B-17.
Hey y'all, it's DJ Mike from Dance Time in Texas. Join me Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. as I count down the top 10 Texas Red Dirt songs that are packing the dance floor. I'll be featuring local artists and the story behind the hits, shows in the area, as well as new songs that make you want to dance. It's Dance Time in Texas with DJ Mike on Lone Star Community Radio, 104.5 KCZW and 106.1 KZCC, Conroe, Texas, or online, irlonestar.com.
We're back. We're back with Daire McLeod. How did you get that name, Daire?
Actually, that's a family name. The original way that it was spelled was D-O-H-E-R, I believe. Yes, D-O-H-E-R. Still pronounced Dare.
Really?
It was crazy. It's actually, I think it's German, and it's my uncle's middle name and my grandfather's middle name. So it's really cool. And my mom, like you, Mom, she literally... she was like, I'm not going to have her being called Adore her entire life. So we're going to have it Dare, like with an I. So it's D-A-I-R-E. It's close enough to Dare that people could kind of get it with it also being spelled pretty cool.
No, I love that. Daire McLeod. And here comes her mom now, fresh off
of working.
the cell.
So,
yes.
She gets the grind. She gets that bag.
Yeah. Hopefully I taught you that, right?
Yeah.
How to grind. Yeah, thank you for having us. Yes. We're so
Well,
excited.
Listen, I love anybody that has, that's bringing so much attention to Conroe or to this area
absolutely.
here.
Oh, yeah.
You got to highlight that person and put a spotlight on them
Well,
because
I will tell you this. We love Conroe.
yeah.
And we are all about Conroe Strong and supporting everything we can in this community. We have so many friends.
Oh, yeah.
And, family.
Friends, family.
Yeah. I mean, I always call Conroe when people ask about, where Daire's from. I call it the little big town.
Yeah.
Right? Because it
Yes.
is. It truly
Yes.
is a little big town. And it's got so many amazing businesses. I mean, when I look at what's happened in downtown Conroe, I mean, it's now a destination. I mean, you look at 202 and you look at, all the new things that are happening.
All
and
of the amazing people
we love it.
who
And live
we-
music is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you need to start playing at 202.
I
They have an open
do.
mic night.
I'm going to start probably doing that soon.
when you're going to play where?
At 202, the restaurant that is down on downtown Conroe, 202 Main.
202. Oh, you're gonna play there?
I would love to play there. I'm hopefully going to do that very soon.
Let me make a call.
Hold on.
So
I got
when
them on the phone.
So when you do that, Erica, you've got to call me and y'all got to come on and we'll
love
promote it and make sure that you're
Love
going to
it.
be here.
I think the coolest thing is a lot of people don't, and that's what is great about that with Daire and being able to do Ghostwriter, and it's a family show, and it's this Emmy Award-winning show that she works so hard.
Not working on Euphoria yet.
Yeah,
So
we were there for 6 months, and we filmed in Canada in the middle of COVID.
Oh yeah.
And what's amazing is that, and I'm so proud of you, Daire. I haven't probably said this, so I'm gonna tell you, is that she is using her newfound stardom, if you will, as an opportunity to give back to the community.
Right.
It's so cool because there's so many great charities and nonprofits that are here.
And I
that
absolutely want to partner. I would, if I had the opportunity, I would partner with every single one. And I feel like I'm really happy that the first step was my premiere, because taking something that means so much to me when it comes to my art, if you will,
right,
it's really cool that I can use that platform that I'm gaining now to help people instead of using it for other things or selfish reasons. I try and always find a reason and a way to give back to people.
That is, you will always be successful, because that puts a big smile on God's face. I think that's why you use your talent for that. It's interesting, because in the Bible he talks about talent, the person that buried their talent because they didn't want to lose anything that was given to them, so they didn't use it or do it. And that was what made the king so mad, because I gave you this is what I gave you, and this is what God is saying. He says your talent is not to be buried. You're to,
right.
Because everybody is different, and they have different talents, they have different backstories and all that. And that's what is so interesting, is her backstory seems like she has conjured up old souls that she's brought into, and she makes these statements and go like, good grief,
Well, and I think it's interesting because we've always let it shine, right? Don't hide under a bushel, let it shine.
There you
go. Daire coined that phrase when she first started to
Oh
talk.
yeah.
What's
my big motto is dare to be different, because why try to be someone else when you can just be you?
Right.
And
that's exactly right.
Yeah, it's just because the best teams are the most diverse, and I feel like that's also something I was so proud to be in Ghostwriter for, is because when teams come together from different backgrounds and different places and countries and universes even, it's just incredible to see people partnering together to create something that's beautiful. And I think that's symbolized in our show, on and off screen.
And off screen, you're partnering with the charity called
Love Heals Youth.
Love Heals You.
Mm-hmm.
Youth.
Love
Youth, like
Heals Youth.
Yeah.
And so it's Heals, not Heals,
Right.
HILLS. Because I was trying to think, how does that do? Okay, Heals Youth. I think that's wonderful. I mean, that is so exciting that you're touching an area that is where people need to know about and and bring this awareness to them, and the foster kids that are being able to benefit from this. Tell about the premiere and what you did to help.
Of course. So my premiere was just recently, and I had the big thing for Ghostwriter, and I was so proud to partner with Love Heals Youth, because just, first of all, Rebecca is an incredible human being for creating and help starting this, because it's something that really needs to be talked about, and we need to use our kindness to help touch those people, because these foster kids are the ones who are going from home to home, the ones who are possibly forgotten about or left behind. And it's crazy to think that these kids that are around my age are still having to use a trash bag as luggage, and they don't have anyone or anything to really have a rock to stand on. So it's really cool that this charity is not only helping them provide with actual luggage, which is something that I feel a lot of people don't realize how important that is to some people.
Sure.
And toiletries and everything that we maybe could take for granted, but it means so much to them. And also Rebecca and many other people who are part of the team are counselors, so that people in that system who are struggling with their mental health or with other things that are burdening them in their lives, they can talk about it. They can have that rock, that touchstone. So what I did was, because I want to start a charity called Dare to Read. and it would be about placing a book in the hands of any kid who wants one or needs one, because storytelling is such a gift.
Oh, yes.
And I think that it's really cool.
I'm sorry. It's so cool. Go ahead. I know. We're crying.
I think it's just really cool that kids can, have that luxury of being able to go anywhere, no matter what their situation is in real life. They can go into that world that they want to be in, no matter what it is.
Right. That's right.
So in my premiere, I asked everyone to bring a book from 13 to 16. So we could put that in their welcome home bag with their luggage and their toiletries and all of that, so they have a little something special that they can cherish. So, and I'm so thankful to everyone who came and helped, because we gave almost 100 books to those kids, and it means so much to me, because I'm at that age that I wanted to help, because it's just like, to me, I'm so blessed to have a situation where I'm able to have both my parents, and they're supportive and lovely, and they're always there for me. And I know that that is a luxury. It's not something that's, it's a commodity. It's not something that's extremely common.
I talk to my grandchildren, they come home from high school each day, and they talk about their friends and how the families, my grandson said, I just don't know of any functional family. Everybody's dysfunctional, and that's the norm now. He said that's all we talk about. We talk about how your dad's missing, or your mom, or somebody has left, and and it's so sad. And he said, so at school, is their only time to have like camaraderie and friends and a teacher who yells at them, and they know that's okay because they care. Right. And so a lot of times, and it's that kind of things that you find out, and you go like, how can you, what can we do? But you're starting at a very good point, and I think that's excellent. And the foster children that are just, you're right, that they do feel like they're forgotten and feel like they're shifted around, and that makes them, there's nothing to hold on to.
And I think what I'm so proud about for Daire, this was all Daire's idea. This was not mine. This was hers. And this is what she discovered in Canada. Because if you watch the show, what's so cool about Ghostwriter, it's all about literature. It's about, it's a reboot from 30 years ago.
Right.
From the 90s with Samuel L. Jackson.
With Samuel L. Jackson. And what's so cool is she decided, gosh, I love reading. And she's been reading since she was a little bitty girl.
Oh, yeah. I think I actually have the most hilarious video of me when I was around, how old was I? Like four or five? I was reading to this cat I had named Daisy, and it was this Pinkalicious book, and it was the most amazing thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's, trying to steal that into a lot of kids today that only read text.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that's misspelled. So it's difficult whenever you...
I have Grammarly, so Grammarly saves me so much.
Well, sometimes it does, and sometimes it didn't hear what you said right, and it can be very embarrassing.
I think that's a good point, though, when you think about it, is, kids today, they can become little activists.
They can, and that's something that's really amazing.
That are passionate about. You don't have to sit back anymore and wait because of social media and platforms like that.
No,
you can start something in a good way that you can foster in your children early to say, hey, if you believe in something, let's do it. And that's what's cool about your show.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, cool.
I think it's just something that's also really cool. And actually, one of our writers, he said this himself, Andrew Ornstein. He talked about how the show is amazing because it doesn't look down on kids. It doesn't look at kids and it was like, do we need to explain this to you? It's more like it's treating them like how they should be treated, which is intelligent individuals who are fostering our world. It's just like, if you choose, it's the whole thing of fostering a good independent person who's willing to think their own thoughts, because it's all about, if you think if you have an opinion.
She's done. I think you're cured. You're fostering.
I love it.
I love that, fostering your own thoughts. That's good.
Love it.
That's really good.
Yeah. And I'm also, that's something that's really cool about our show is like I said, they don't look down on kids. It talks about kids, and it's like kids see more than you think. Kids know about more than you think.
Yep.
And it's like...
Oh, brother, yes.
You know what? I will say my favorite episode so far, because we haven't watched it all.
I told them that I was talking about
it's a Rolling Stones song.
Oh,
so
yes.
It's very cool. Instead of a book, So a lot of them are books and beautiful literature. Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
There's a really cool author now from Louisiana that has it's called
Bayou Magic. There's another one by Pablo Cartaya, and he created a book specifically for the show, which is called Leo El Magnifico. That is the 4th and 5th episode, which is really cool. And then there's also classics like Beverly Cleary's Mouse and the Motorcycle. There's also, like we said, the Rolling Stones song "She's a Rainbow," which has now become one of my favorites. And
that is I love that song.
So instead of it coming out of a book,
it comes out of the
fictional
lyrics.
character comes from a record, a vinyl record, which is cool.
Vinyl records. That's so hot and trendy right now.
Oh,
So it's like,
I have
that's
a couple
hilarious.
myself, so.
I can't tell you how many times that became trendy in my lifetime because it's like no one thought that would ever go away or 8 tracks would ever go away. So, but they do. But I think that if you guys are pushing the literacy thing, and teachers would be so happy to know that because that's what they're, trying to do all the time.
We're from a family of teachers. All of my cousins and my cousins are counselors. My mother was a principal.
My dad's father was a coach and a principal. My dad's mother was an English teacher.
Your uncle is...
My uncle, oh my gosh, yeah, my uncle. My Uncle Kent, he is a doctor. He is a professor, a doctor of...
Yes,
teaching. And he's incredibly smart. He speaks, I believe, Korean fluently. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he speaks Korean fluently. He speaks Spanish fluently. He teaches right now in Costa Rica at Earth University, helping people have English as a
and he's aware.
The point is education is important to our family.
We'll see, and right now it's everything because of the scores just came out about the kids were so low because of the pandemic, like 2 years behind, and how pitiful all that was. So that's been something that the education it's like zoomed in, and parents wanting to be more involved and things in education.
I think what's amazing is, and one of the things Daire was telling me recently is she wants to go back into all the schools and start reading to the schools.
Oh, yeah.
And try to raise money to get the books to give to the schools from the series. So these kids
would be so incredible.
I think it's just the beginning. I mean, and I'm so proud of you, Daire, because I think it's something that makes you, like you said, dare to be different. She started at the Crichton stage, and she wasn't afraid to sing from the top of her lungs.
Well, I was just meeting with the lady who's a communication marketing person for Willis. Yeah. And she was talking about all schools and what they're trying to do and all. I would just love to tell her that I said, well, if you ever need someone to come read at the libraries, to come in the libraries when the kids come to the library. Yeah. There's a star that was born, and that she would. She's saying that she would love to do that, and we'll have to, hook you two guys up. That would be great.
That would be incredible.
Yeah, because they would be so impressed, and to be able to get into the schools where the kids are, and be able to they probably don't think many things come out of Conroe or out of Willis, but you see that I'm going to get to see Daire McLeod.
Think about it. There's been a lot of
actually
incredible talent that's come out of
it's amazing.
Montgomery County.
I mean, it's like whenever you look at Crichton Theater, you just you see so many talented people. Like I think I have to.
Just the community
theater. Just
theater,
the community, everything. I mean, it's just incredible because they helped, like I said, helped the Crichton Theater fostered a lot of my passion for acting. And it was a big deal to me that I could use my storytelling and what I love doing to help affect people in positive, amazing ways, because I can make people happy. I can make people feel like they're not alone about something sad that's happening in their life. Best case scenario, I could possibly save someone or make them feel like their life
there's hope.
Has hope.
Yeah, that's everything right now. And I think that having, your mom is so great and so exceptional.
I just know you $100.
Okay. You just leave that that little box at the door. That's fine. But I think that to give kids hope, to go you mean somebody that could come from Conroe, this little town, and they could be a big star and they could be on TV and all that. That's just amazing. And so that gives them shoot for that, because so many kids feel like that's just unobtainable. And I think that for you doing this and going around and being so sweet, so humble, so like down to earth and relatable, that's wonderful for them, because that gives them a lot of hope.
I'm glad you brought that up, because one of the things that I would say that's amazing about being watching her in this industry is that the kids that actually follow her on social media, many of them are from all different countries. This show Ghost Rider came out in 100 different countries and multiple languages.
It came in I think it came out in about 45 languages. Which is incredible.
So what's cool is when these little kids in Brazil and these kids in Ecuador and all these kids that reach out to her all around the world are in Germany saying, "Come and visit me." And we saw the trailer in German the other day.
Yeah,
that is
Italian.
It's everywhere.
Crazy.
And
How do you like hearing yourself in Italian?
It was just so funny, because we were on the plane watching it and we're like, oh, what? Because it's like, also shout out to every single, I don't know them personally, but shout out to every single voice actor who did those roles. Because it was a lot of work, and that actually made me kind of very grateful for the fact that it took so long, because of course my patience and my own self-obsession with it, I was like, oh, come on, it's gotta come out, I'm gonna tell people about it, but I wasn't able to, because they were so busy getting it to where it could come out in 100 different countries and almost I think 1 billion. It could be streamed in almost 1 billion TVs.
Screens.
Sorry, screens.
Wow. Can you imagine? And on phones and on the iPads and all the stuff that you're on, all the different levels. And so we're just, it's just amazing to me, because I think that from the mom's perspective, you listened to her, and you were out in the lobby listening to her, and I was trying to do as much counseling as I could on the boyfriends.
I was watching live. I heard about the boyfriend stuff.
That I did what I could, but
thank you. I'm a lost cause. I'm a lost cause.
She's not getting married tomorrow. That's all we know. That's all we know. But I think that it's amazing how the sacrifice your mom makes, the sacrifice that your family makes, because they all love you and they want you to.
I mean, and I'll let her speak for herself, but it's my mom is, I've always found to be an incredible person. I mean, she's always been there for me, regardless of what that means. If it means her driving out to come and see me at 3 a.m. in the morning, or if it means we're flying on a plane to Las Vegas or Los Angeles at 3 a.m. in the morning. And
she's there.
It means a lot. Her support always means a lot to me.
Well, there's nothing else I would ever want to do different.
I hit the mic.
All of you listening to radio right now, they're holding hands. Aww. And she's getting teared up, and I'm the color commentator. Okay, we only have 5 minutes left.
Darn.
I just can't believe how fast this stuff goes.
I know.
And so in that 5 minutes, I'll have to break away and talk about Dennis, who I know is watching.
We love Dennis.
Dennis has
spooky.
When I was doing the show, and we were on
one
that.
of her first shows was with Dennis.
Yes. And he's the one that called
on the radio
me.
Station.
Yeah, I know where they were, because he called me and said, "Okay, Cindy." Then he told me all about her coming in and stuff. So I said, "Well, I want her on here." But Dennis was there when we were in the down by the Crichton. We were there in the big plate glass window.
Yes.
And when I would start talking, I'd have a girl on and a certain day, and we'd talk about the housewives programs. And he would walk by with a sign saying, "This is so boring. Shut up." And I'm trying to talk to this girl, and I can see him going back and forth like, this is so bad. And so yes, he's just been part of our this radio station for so long. And so tomorrow, Dennis, the whole new side of Dennis comes out, and we talk about his ex-wife. And I don't know where she is, and I hope we don't offend her in any way, but he said she talked to dead people, and she's a medium.
Right.
And so when somebody said that to me, he said, my wife's a medium. I said, okay, so I'm a large. But and he goes, Cindy isn't. And so he says, but she talks to dead people like all the time. And I went, oh, that's from a show. That's from a movie. You just got that from a movie. But
you're talking about The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. And so he said, no, she did. And I'd look over, she'd be talking to somebody, and I'm trying to find where they were. And then he told me about some incidents that were happening. Now, Dennis is a lot of things, but lying about this, his experience, he's not lying about his experience. I may not believe that experience, but it's his experience, so I believe that he had that experience. Did I qualify that? But anyway, he's got some tales to tell, and they're kind of creepy and they're kind of scary because you're like, well, how could that have happened if she? Okay, we'll talk about that. But anyway, he's going to be here tomorrow, and so y'all need to listen in.
And we will.
Oh, yeah.
Just in time for spooky season.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I've also heard many of the ghost stories, so you are all in for a treat.
Oh man, yeah. So he needs to do the book, and so we need to get him to write the book on this stuff. But anyway, so tomorrow, guys, we'll have Dennis O'Connor, and then Thursday we'll have Gail Matthews. She's a director of a women's ministry. She's spoken all over the place, and when I would go speak, she's the one everybody would look up to, like, oh, Gail's coming in town. So we're going to be talking to her on Thursday. And so anyway, I just want to tell you, thank you so much for coming and listening and being with us and getting to meet this, beautiful family. And be sure and go to YouTube, Apple TV to watch The Ghost Rider, and then go to YouTube, and if your friends or anybody missed this, they can watch it then, like in about 5 minutes. They can watch it again.
Yeah.
But you are just amazing, and I just thank you so much, and thank you for how you feel right now. Don't ever change if we could just keep. And don't
we'll put the pause button on.
And don't let anybody steal this common sense you have. Okay, first responders, we love you so much.
Yes,
Thank
we
you for your
do.
service.
Thank you.
And what's even better is God loves you more. Okay, bye, everybody. Have a good time. It's beautiful outside.